Yeah.
But what looks phenomenal is this next game.
I
And
can't believe
not,
this game.
like ray tracing graphics and photorealistic whatever and whatnot. No, 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 no. I'm talking about waifus and husbandos are back, baby, and it's not Genshin Impact. Hello and welcome to the Bad Gamer, Good Gamer podcast. The Summer Game Fest is upon us, taking on the mantle of the cancelled E3 to be one of the biggest gaming events this year. There were so many games and cool things announced, but we actually only have enough time to geek out about a few of them. So, get comfortable and enjoy the show. Hey, Footwood.
Hey,
Are you
Tim?
comfortable?
I'm actually very comfortable. I'm on a couch now. I'm actually sitting on a couch, chilling.
I think you
So-
should always chill on a couch doing this podcast.
Yeah, I think so. But then we'll take too long doing the podcast. We'll take our time.
Yeah, especially today, that might be a problem. Today's episode is going to be about the Summer Game Fest. It just happened yesterday, technically
Last
the
night.
night before. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. 10
the
p.m.
night
our time
before
it
that.
started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is why we're recording this episode like right afterwards, a day after it came out, not on Sunday like we typically would. Another reason for that is, I might have a dental procedure done tomorrow, so Sunday I might not be around. We're talking about this but we didn't really stick to anything. But for food, you might just do that episode yourself.
I may have to. I don't mind either way. But hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Hopefully, yeah. In case it's not something that I can quickly recover from or whatever, then sure. But otherwise, guys, look forward to for food only show next week.
Oh no.
Yeah, both video and audio. You have to deliver.
Flying solo. Oh shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So let's do the YouTube thing and ask you guys to like and subscribe and follow so you don't miss that next episode. Apparently, you have to do these early on or halfway through or something
Oh, do you?
to make sure. Yeah.
I
We've
don't
got a
pay
lot of
attention.
reading up to do.
Yeah. Like I know.
Yeah.
I said before, since we're on YouTube, we have to do it. But
We have to do these things. Yeah, it feels weird. But anyways,
do what you want. Yeah. Anyways.
on to gaming news. So as I said at the intro, we can't talk about the almost 40 announcements. That
Was it
came
40?
out.
I didn't count. But was
I
it
did
that
I
much?
did a quick count. It's almost 40 if you include the Black Adam thing, and if you include we'll talk about that later. Hopefully,
Yeah, let's
But,
talk about that later.
there are 40 topics, right?
Yeah.
Off those 40, we picked about what was seven, I think maybe games that we want to talk about.
That we both.
Oh yes, yeah, that we both
Liked.
Yeah, exactly. That we both liked and wanted to talk about. There's a bunch of other announcements and topics and stuff that we individually like, but they didn't overlap. If we have enough time, we'll talk about a couple of those afterwards. But we don't want this episode to be an hour plus long episode. The whole point of this new podcast is to change the format a little bit and then try to do
right?
shorter episodes. So far, we've done it maybe for the intro or the first episode, the
Because we had nothing else to talk about.
we had
We're
nothing else to
we
talk
had
about. It
do
was 19 minutes long. Yeah, we had to do it exactly. So without further ado, let's begin with the first game that we both want to talk about.
I'm so hyped for this game. And
The
I've
Kalisto
already,
Protocol.
the Kalisto Protocol. I think I already mentioned it the last time, but this game, the moment they showed the demo, I was hooked. I
yeah.
loved it. What was your take on it? What was your take after seeing it?
Well, I like this new because we talked about it just a couple of days ago for the state of play. I
Yeah.
like the show field cut that they used, of the trailer for Summer Game Fest, because it showed off a lot more of the gore, a lot more of the environmental deaths and whatnot. They
Right,
talked about
yeah.
the new grip gun. I liked it more in this second trailer that I saw, and
Same.
because was his name Glenn Schofield, I think.
Yeah. I think so,
The CEO of Striking Distance, the
It
developers
is.
behind the game, was on stage and he talked a bit about it and whatnot. I'm still looking forward to the game. I still think it's going to be great. Like you mentioned in the last episode, Dead Space vibes, right?
100%. Yeah.
through
Even
and
more
through,
so
yeah.
now. Even more so now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I felt like if it wasn't a copyrighted thing, they could have easily used the directional gun that Isaac had in Dead Space, to cut off
yeah.
the limbs. I felt like they were this close to doing it, or they might have something similar. But yeah,
That's a bit too much.
Yeah.
It's a bit too much on the nose, right?
Yeah, right.
We're from that other game. Here's this same gun, but it's not really the same. It doesn't do horizontal vertical, it does diagonal.
Yeah. And in the trailer, we saw him without a suit, and then there was a
Yeah.
part with a suit, and I was
Yeah.
like, This is Dead
The
Space. This is
suit
like,
looked the suit looked really cool, by the way.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Also like the fatalities, or I think he called it brutalities. They showed off a lot of that, like like the last sort of like finishing moves to kill off an enemy in a brutal way.
yeah.
A lot of exploding headshots. Like the
Actually, yeah,
game, yeah, it's
super gory.
very gory, very
Way
fun.
more
It
than
looks
Dead
very fun.
Space. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like this is gonna be the game of the year whenever it does come out.
Mm.
Actually, did they say when it's coming out? It's
Let me
yeah,
go
actually,
through.
yeah, they
This
said
this
2nd of
year.
December.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
which we all know could be pushed till 2023. Like from now till then, we don't know.
yeah.
It's
Games are getting delayed all the time.
exactly the last few years it's just been delayed. So I wouldn't be
Mm.
surprised if it does get delayed, but I'd be more surprised if they stuck to the date, to be honest.
That would be welcome good news. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Otherwise, yeah, the what was it? The footage ended, or the last thing we saw was like the main character being shoved into an engine or a fan or something and getting
Yeah,
branded. So
yeah.
your character has gruesome deaths, not only
Oh
you
yeah, it's not just the
killing them.
enemies. Exactly. Yeah, you as well. Because they also showed off another one. So this wasn't in the trailer. I think this was in the gameplay footage that they revealed. So there was like a 2 minute raw gameplay footage
Mm.
that they showed off. It looked really good. It took place in two different locations. But then like in the trailer thing, there was another death. The monster, whatever enemy unit that he was fighting,
Mm.
like bites his head off or like crushes his head with its mouth. So that's also like maybe something else that we like another sort of like
Death.
self-inflicted or like yeah death that your character can go through. I hope to see a lot more of these. I hope it's not just like these two or like maybe just three different ways.
I doubt it.
They
If they showed
they
us
need to play
this
off with the
much,
environment.
definitely.
Yeah,
If they showed
yeah.
us already like this as a taste, it's gonna be way more for sure. For
Yeah, and I
sure.
just want to like speaking of the environment, like one of the reasons that they talked about the grip gun, yeah, I think yeah, it's the grip gun or the grip weapon, whatever it's called, but the grip is because it's kind of like a gravity gun that you can use to like pick up items or even like pick up enemies, and you can
Mm.
apparently rip them apart. He said that, and I'm not sure how.
We haven't
And you
seen
can
it
all
yet, but
yeah, we
yeah.
haven't seen it. Yeah, yeah. And also what we did see is that you can like pick up enemies and then you can kind of push them towards these environmental death traps.
Yeah, we saw a bit of it in the trailer, and like I
Yeah,
didn't know what was going on until that point.
yeah,
Like it just
yeah,
like they come to the screen and then just disappear. So
exactly.
it had that. It's similar to the status thing that Dead Space had, like status
Mm,
effects. It had or like
mm.
the powers that you can use to
Yeah,
like slow down the enemies and stuff. And I feel like it's akin to that in this
maybe
one
it is
in the
actually. Yeah,
Callisto.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also noticed in the gameplay, I think footage is that you can blow limbs off of enemies, so you can like slow them down this way. There was a
Mm.
part where he shot off like one of the enemy units' legs off, and like I think evading melee attacks is also another thing that you can do. You can evade and then melee with your own attack. It looked like he had a lightning rod or a cattle rod or whatever. It was like the stick that had like electrical sort of
Mm.
things around it. There's obviously a lot to reveal about the game, a lot to show, and a lot to just kind of like discover and find out. So hopefully they show a lot more of it before the release. It's still almost 6 months away.
Yeah, I'm sure we will hear more closer to the release date, but yeah, I'm definitely
Yeah.
looking forward to this game.
Yeah. One more thing. In the PlayStation blog, they interviewed Glenn, and he mentioned that the PlayStation version of it is going to get like an exclusive PlayStation DLC, something called the Contraband Pack, which I'm assuming is going to be like some items or gears or something that will give the players a fighting chance starting out with the game. So that's something to look forward to, I guess.
And to consider where to play. Let's see.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if you have both consoles, then yeah, pick up the PS version because you get those extra items. Now I don't know if there's like an exclusive Xbox thing as well that's different than the PS thing, kind of like a
Sometimes it does
Pokemon
happen,
Red
yeah.
Yellow, right? Like like kind of something like that. But what I do know, like what I did see, is that the PlayStation will get its own like DLC pack. And as you said, the game's coming out December 2nd. That's something to look forward to. On to the next game.
Next game. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling.
Tell me about it.
Fort Solis, Fallen Leaf. This one, it's a new game announcement by a new European studio, independent studio.
Yeah.
But and it's also another survival horror game. But the cool thing about it is it's voiced by two special voice actors. One, Troy Baker, and another
course.
Roger Clark, as you just found out who he was.
Yeah. This is a perfect example of what a bad gamer, good gamer is. Like why it's called bad gamer, good gamer. Because I obviously know who Troy Baker is, but I had no idea who Roger Clark is. And when they both went up on stage, it was very clear than obvious that this was a big deal that they're both together. And I couldn't figure out like why. So obviously there was something that I wasn't aware of, which I found out later is because of, they were last seen together, like they were last acted together in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it was a
obviously
big
you
thing.
were aware of that, and I wasn't. So that's the whole big bad gamer, good gamer thing. But there's also Julia Brown is also because she was like in the artwork. So I don't know who she is. Like
I don't know either, but I'm sure she's just as big as them.
I think there's an actress called Julia Brown, and I don't know if it's her or if it's like somebody else like who does voice acting for games, also called Julia Brown. But like those three names were like on the poster, but on stage it was Troy Baker and Roger Clark. They had a
Yeah.
good buddy thing going on.
They did, yeah, actually. They were a good chemistry. And it's nice to see them like on stage with Jeff like interviewing them or like just
Yeah,
chatting with them.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. And Troy's character in the game is Wyatt Taylor, who's a medical officer stationed in the Fort Solis base. And Roger's character is Jack Leary, who is the maintenance engineer on a remote Martian mining post, who's responsible for the equipment breakdowns, obviously.
Yeah.
But we want to know more. Like the graphics look good. It's like definitely
Yeah.
story driven. Like you could tell just by how they set everything up.
Yeah, they made a point, like they elaborated or like they reiterated on the fact that this was a tight thriller. Performance capture was done, so it was just like in my head, I'm expecting Last of Us level performances, right?
Style, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like in terms of like, these guys are actors. They're not just voice actors, but they're actors. And they're lending that performance to this game. And if the capture's done really well, then that will translate amazingly, on screen. It was all captured in Unreal Engine 5, which we talked about a few weeks ago on the Gaming Weekly
right,
Show
yeah.
podcast. So we should expect amazing things in terms
From
of
now on, yeah.
performance and graphics and everything. Yeah. The world looks really cool. We don't really see a lot of it, but like it does feel eerie. It does look like a thriller,
From what
right?
they've
Like
shown, yeah,
yeah,
that they
yeah.
have.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. And Troy went on to talk about like he seemed like he was excited, like almost like it was a part of the talking points that they had, but he just wanted to like quickly kind of like talk about this. He was excited about this thing. There's a fight scene in the game.
Which
I
we
don't
didn't
know
see
bet-
any combat in the trailer, but like it's
Oh yeah, we didn't
good
see
that he
anything
talked
exactly.
about this.
So
Yeah.
so we don't even know what the combat is going to be like exactly. But there's a fight scene in the game, and he shouted out his stunt coordinator, Nathaniel. That's the only thing that he mentioned. But Nathaniel, did I say Nathaniel? Nathaniel. Yeah. So Nathaniel apparently sat down with the both of them to kind of like discuss the story of this fight, and he talked to them about who the characters are, and he's like, okay, I'll come back in an hour with a fight story. And he came back, and apparently it was a very elaborate thing. It was beautifully done. He said it was kind of like a 12-step program, and it was like so much that Troy Baker told him, like, I got this, it's cool, like I don't like we don't have to like be like do this much or whatever. I can't do that. And then Nathaniel looked at him and was like, no, you can. Like it seemed like it was a very sort of like deep moment that they had. And I'm left wondering, like, what's this fight scene? I want to see it. Like,
Okay, now we have to wait and see.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, this game, like, I think it wasn't announced before. This is like the world
It was a world
premiere
premiere.
announcement. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So definitely another game to look forward to. Also another like sci-fi horror genre thing. Like
They're coming out now. Yeah.
yeah. So that's great. Yeah. But the next
They did.
game.
They didn't
Oh
mention
no, go on.
a release date or anything. That's another thing I wanted to
Yeah, that's right. They did not
point
mention
out.
that. Yeah, they not like. I'm assuming 2023. If it comes out before that, perfect.
That would be a surprise if it does.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, true. Now you mentioned the next thing, and
The
we
next
will
game.
talk
Yeah.
about the next thing
That's
that we both agreed, or like that we're gonna discuss, is The Last of Us, which is kind of the thing that they close with the show on. Um, so Neil Druckmann, as everyone knows, he's the head of Naughty Dog, just waltz on stage and just starts talking about The Last of Us, everything Last of Us related. Um, and one of the things he mentioned was like, I don't know if it was mentioned before, like in a meeting or something, but like he mentioned about The Last of Us 2 and that they reached a milestone of like 10
Hmm.
million copies sold earlier this year, which is like a huge thing
Yeah.
for them. And he was like, yeah, thank you for the support, and it allowed us to make more projects and so on. And one of the projects that they were working on, or was rumored for a while, that he spoke about was the multiplayer game that
A standalone multiplayer
standalone
game. Yeah.
multiplayer game that we heard that they were hiring, and people were like speculating,
Mm.
oh, is it for Last of Us, is it for something else? Well, it turns out from this one cover art or concept art that he showed
Yeah.
in on the Summer Game Fest, it is for The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's the same universe as The Last of Us, and that's all we know. And this cover
We
art.
also know that it's coming next year.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
We know that it's a new set of characters, so you're not playing with the any of the original characters, and it's going to be in a new location.
Yeah,
So that's all
that's
we know.
that's all we know, which is not much, but that's all we know. What
Yeah.
about the next thing? If you want to take us through that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The Last of Us TV show. We've
Yeah.
known that that's coming out. Like that's like nothing new there. But he did announce that on the 10th of June, they finished filming. So I don't know how long it will take for them to do the post-production stuff. I don't know what that process is going to be like, but they finished filming today,
Yeah.
which is great. So 2023, I guess, is also when it's slated for release.
Hmm.
Neil actually directed one of the episodes, and he showed on stage a screenshot that was taken from a scene that took place in a museum. And
Museum. Yeah.
I didn't play the game. You did, so I think this is kind of relevant to you. Like
Dude,
it's
this game came out in 2013, or when
yeah.
I played it or something. Like, it's a while ago. So
It
I
is a
don't remember
2013
a
game,
museum
yeah.
scene,
Okay.
but
So, all right, I thought like maybe it was
sure.
like a very integral part of the game. He
Can't
also
remember
made a
museum.
claim, which is, I mean, you can expect these kind of claims from people promoting their own work, but he said that this show is going to be the most authentic video game adaptation yet.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I
Hopefully.
mean, it would be great. Yeah. It is coming out next year at some point, and a surprise sort of like announcement.
Yeah.
Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, who voiced Joel and Ellie,
Yeah.
are in the show, but their roles are undisclosed. Like nobody
Yeah, that's
knows. They
so
didn't
cool.
announce it.
I like
Yeah,
the like it's I don't know if it's an homage or whatever it is, but it's great that they're in it as well. Like, it
it is
adds
great
to
that
it.
they're in it. If I was a fan of the game, if I played the game and I was a fan of the game and I cared about the voice actors and whatnot, because it's not like they look like the characters. Like the
No.
voice actors do not look like the characters in the game. The actors that they got to play the show do not look like the characters in the game. So there's no like visual like reference or anything, but just the idea that the voice actors are in this TV show, I wouldn't want it to be like just a quick cameo. It would be cool if they had like a
Whole
role, like
role.
like a couple episodes or something. Because Ashley Johnson, actually, I don't know about Troy Baker if he acts, like if he has a lot of like acting jobs, movies or shows or something. But Ashley Johnson actually is like a live action on screen actress. There's a show that I watched that she was in it. She was like one of the main cast actually. It was called I always forget the name of the show, always forget the name of the show, but it's actually a really good show. It's about this woman that wakes up in the middle of like Times Square in a duffel bag, and she's naked and she's got tattoos all over her body.
Oh, snap. Okay, I don't
And
know
the
this show.
tattoos are all like clues to certain like I think crimes or things that are going to happen or things that happened in the past. And the FBI is trying to figure out who this woman is and like who tattooed her body. What's this big
Interesting.
like conspiracy that's going on? And Ashley Johnson plays like one of the tech nerd geeks people on the FBI team that's like handling her case, and she's amazing in that show. So
So if
I
anyone
would
knows the
like
name of that show, just
yes.
let us know. Let me know.
Yeah, if you can stall for like a minute, I can get it for you because
No,
I
it's
always Google naked woman Times Square TV show and I get the
is
name.
that legal? Is that
I mean,
legal?
I said TV show, so Blind
The
Spot.
internet doesn't know that.
That's the name
Okay.
of the show, Blind Spot.
Okay.
Yeah, really good show by the way. But anyways, Last of Us TV show coming out. That's gonna be something to look forward to. Hopefully, it is faithful to the game, and hopefully, it's overall as an overall like TV show, it's a great show as well. Yeah. One more Last of Us announcement.
This one apparently leaked before the show, but like I didn't see it until I heard about it. But The Last of Us Part 1 remake, remake, whatever it is.
Remaster, not remake. That's,
Remaster.
yes, remakes and remasters are two different things.
Yeah, well, it's a remaster.
Yeah.
And it's actually coming out on September 2nd this year. So for PS5 and PC,
Yeah.
which I found is a pretty cool announcement. And they went on to talk about what they've done differently. And so Neil was saying that the graphics is more akin to their actual performances or closer to their performances, and
Closer
they
to
fixed,
what they like wanted it, like like the source sort of thing. They
yeah,
didn't they weren't able to do that with the old gen tech that they
tech
were working with back
exactly.
then. So supposedly the limitations are kind of like gone now, and they can do it the way I understood it is that they can do it the way that they wanted it to be. Now that they can with all this tech that they have,
Yeah,
I think they also fixed up the animations a little bit. Like they use
they
the
use a
main
slider
and
to show back like between the
yeah.
PlayStation or older
No, but
PlayStation and
that's
PS5.
for the models, not the animation. Like that shows the differences in the models, and they do look different.
Yeah,
Obviously, like better quality sort of textures and whatnot. But I think even the faces look different.
yeah.
Some a little bit similar, but like you can tell like these could be two different people. But I think they also mentioned like they were what's his face? I forgot his name.
Who,
CEO.
Troy?
Yeah, no, no,
Oh, Neil
Neil. Yeah,
Druckmann.
Neil.
Neil
Yeah,
Druckmann.
yeah. So Neil, like, was talking to Troy and he was telling him that, like, we used, like, the original sort of, like, animations, the original sort of, like, motion capture. And then I think they worked on that a little bit to kind of, like, spruce it up a little bit as well.
You know, you just reminded me when Neil was telling Troy, Troy just like stopped and just like stared at him, and I feel like he was just looking at him. He
He,
was like, "Man, you're amazing." He's like, "I can't believe you're doing it," kind of thing. And
yeah, that's
then
right.
then he asked him, and then not him, Jeff asked him, he's like, "Oh, what did you think about like something that you've worked on like over a decade ago, and like just
I
seeing it
think he
again?"
asked them, like, oh, yeah, he asked, yeah, it's like, when was the last time they played it as well? Because Ashley
That too,
mentioned that
yeah.
she played it, like, recently. The last time she played it was recently. And she only played one. And Troy said that he played one and two, like, just, like, back to back or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, like they didn't really recall everything, obviously, and
it's
I think
hard. Yeah,
Troy had to watch the trailer before, or like watch something before the show started, just to kind of like get a
to
refresher.
recap, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he's human. It's normal.
He's human, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember what I ate today. So yeah, Last of Us, great announcement. Like I did mention this to my friend, and he's like, again, he's a fan of The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Didn't
me
like
too.
didn't like part two so much. Like he liked it, but like not so much. He had some gripes about it, but generally speaking, is a fan of the franchise. And is like, didn't they like? It's not even 10 years old. How are there two remasters of it already?
It's a
And I'm
fair
like,
point. It's a fair point.
I get it, and obviously it's like it's a money grab, right? Like that's what it is.
I mean, I guess, but
It
like the
is,
it
but
is
I'm
okay. It
okay with
is.
it. I'm okay with it because it's not like I mean I don't know. Maybe they're going to add more things and whatnot, but essentially it's a money grab because it's been remastered for the PS4,
Hmm.
and now they're doing it again for PS5, and they're expanding the user base to PC players because it's.
That's
This is
true.
one more thing I want to talk about. Like the way they worded it, they said it's coming out on September 2nd and it's in development for PC. So there's a chance that I think that the PC version is not coming out on the 2nd of September or December. December was, yeah. So
No,
that
2nd
might
of
be like
September. September.
September. Oh, September. Okay, so yeah, so I think we can expect a PC version of it at some point. Hopefully, it comes out same day as PS5, but
It would be
I wouldn't
cool,
be
yeah.
surprised if it comes out later, just because the way they worded it, like it's in development.
Yeah, it could be. I took it. When I read it, I took it as the same day. But
I
you
hope
could be
so.
right. I didn't.
That'd
I
be
didn't
great. Yeah,
check into
because
that. Yeah.
September is just a few months, like it's 3 months away for a game to still be in develop. I don't know if that's normal or not, like with crunch time and whatnot, but saying that it's like in development and it's just like 2.5 months away at this point.
True. True.
We'll have to wait and see. Anywho, let's move on to the next game. Another
I.
space horror thing, but
It's
with
a
a
theme.
twist.
Did you realize we have a theme?
It's a theme. It is a theme. I think this is it. Like that's what, because
It's
even State of Play was like zombies,
That's true.
right?
So
Yeah.
now
Now it's like
space
space
horror.
horror.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's the new title. Space horror.
That could be it. Yeah.
It's
But we
Space
have
Horror Fest. I got it.
ooh.
Yeah.
Oh no, Space Gore Fest, so it can still be
Oh.
SGF.
Perfect. Yes, you got it. Okay. Space Gore Fest. We got it.
Space for Gore Fest. Yeah. No promises. Routine by
I liked
Lunar
it.
Software. I
Lunar-
liked it
like
as well.
it
They
was a
showed
short
so
trailer.
little of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a short trailer, but something about it just grabbed me. I was like, "There's something to this. Like, I want to know more." And I think it might have to do with the creepy robot at the very
At the very end, yeah, I think it was like a minute long, if not more than that.
Yeah.
It definitely had creepy vibes to it. But I think the very first thing that grabbed my attention was the shape of her gun. Her, was it a woman or a man? I don't remember. But like the shape of the character's gun, like they walk out of like or like towards like a door or an entrance or something, and the shape of the gun just like looked different. Not that it looked bad or looked good, but it just looked different. I think that was the first thing that kind of like made me sort of like focus a bit more. But then there's like that last scene where the robot with teeth
yeah,
grabs the
and
person,
like the
and then
tiny laser eyes or beady eyes. Like,
yeah. So the weird thing about Routine is that this game was announced 10 years ago.
That I wouldn't say the weird thing. That's the crazy thing that it's
I mean,
been
it's
announced
it's
that
weird
long ago.
for a game that was. I'm assuming announced 10 years ago and like hasn't been heard of since, like barely, because I don't
That's
remember
development
ever
held
like.
right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, but I don't remember ever like seeing any mentions of the game, like
It's the
like,
first time I've heard it, to
major
be
events
honest.
or whatever. Yeah, exactly. So it's a space horror themed game. The enemies, like I said, have like they're androids or robots with like teeth, and it's set on a lunar base, and the design of it is akin to an 80s vision of what the future would look like.
That's cool. Yeah, like it was
I
one of
picked that
those
up from
like
the website. Yeah, exactly. I picked that up.
Alt-universe, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't like it's not clear in the short video that we saw what the aesthetic is like. It doesn't look like it's an 80s rendition of what the future is going to look like. At least to me, it didn't. I picked that up from the website. So we definitely have to see more of the game to see how true that is and like how well like they did that. But it's coming to PC, Steam, Xbox Series One, and Series X and S, and Game Pass. So this is like a Microsoft
Yeah.
exclusive.
It could be. Actually, it is because
Because there was no mention of PlayStation
PlayStation.
at all. Yeah,
Was there a mention of a release date? Because like
I
there's
didn't
no
see a release date. I mean,
so they showed it off
announced it-
without a release date.
they announced it 10 years ago. We got like some flopper footage, I'm assuming, for the first time today. We can wait for like an announcement date. It's gonna come out in 5 or 6 years. It's fine.
Another 5 years. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
just
yeah.
making sure. Just making sure.
Just making sure as things go. So yeah, but still, like generally speaking, it like without like having seen much of it, it does look intriguing enough at least that we wanted to talk about it. And
Yeah.
again, for me, the idea that it was announced 10 years ago
Just
is
adds to it, I
interesting.
think.
Yeah, it adds to like that thing. Yeah, and yeah, we wanted to talk about it. Not sci-fi or horror in any way, I guess,
Surprisingly.
but still fictional nonetheless, but very colorful is the next game called Neon White.
Neon White, yeah.
Yeah.
This one kind of also like leaked before the Summer Game Fest. I know it was trending for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, So people were like, "Oh, it's gonna be shadow dropped or whatever." And like to be fair, yeah, like they were right. But the cool thing about it, it's like a fast action single player speed runner, first person speed runner. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, like it's in the video. It took several frames, several like title cards. It's I think they said like in the beginning it was like a heavenly single player card based speed running FPS game.
I didn't get this card part, but like sure,
Oh,
card
because no, I
based.
think you see it in the video. Like there are like these. I think it's either this game or another game, but that is card based. But you see in the video that there's like three, like a deck of cards in the bottom right corner of the screen, and then each
Oh, there
card
was?
is. I think there was. Again, it was either this video or another video that I saw, and I'm confusing the two.
No, no, no. Go on. No, I think you might be right.
Yeah, so there's a deck of cards in the bottom, like right corner of the screen, and then I'm assuming just like with other card-based games, like each card, does like a certain attack or ability or like a passive thing and whatnot, and that's how you play the game. But it's just weird seeing it as an FPS and a speed running thing.
Yeah, there was cards. Okay, that is a card. Okay. You
Yeah,
know, it was going so fast that I didn't
it's
even
very
realize there were
fast.
cards
It is very fast. Yeah.
because they had a picture of like a sword and then a gun and like it looked
Yeah,
like
yeah,
regular
they went
items.
through yeah, they
Yeah.
went through like like even the characters like and the different like locations or whatever. There was a lot of gameplay footage, but it was all very quick. You can't really tell what's happening, but it still looked interesting. It looked different. The aesthetic is I mean, even the idea you're an assassin from hell who has to slay demons for a chance to ascend to heaven. Like,
Or yeah,
I mean,
well,
we've seen something like it before, kind of like generally speaking, but with that
not in this way.
aesthetic, yeah, there was I think a cat or a dog that I think is giving you missions,
A
or
cat.
like
It
some
was a
sort.
heavenly
It was a
cat.
cat. It
Yeah,
was a
it
heavenly
was a cat.
cat, right? Yeah, yeah. So they also showed off a couple of the characters. So there are four of them. There's the main character that you play with, I'm assuming, is the guy who's like the generic gun wielding character. There's a woman who I think is like the love interest or something, or she flirts with him. She's like the sniper person. There's a big buff dude who's a sword wielder, and then there's like a little girl. I don't know what she does,
Mm.
but like you've got like that variety, right, of
Of
different
characters
character
to play
types
with.
and
Yeah.
whatnot. Yeah, it's coming out next week, June 16th, actually.
June 16th,
So
which is the middle of the year. June
middle.
16th.
Oh yeah, it is. That's right. So it's coming out in the middle of the year. And this is also like what intrigued me is that it's coming out only on the Switch and on Steam.
Only those two places. That's what really like I
Yeah,
think
like
is strange, like more intriguing about it. Like they're
yeah,
they're
yeah. It was
confident
intriguing.
enough,
Yeah,
yeah, that they're like, okay, PC, Switch, we don't need anything else.
yeah. Let's not make it a Switch exclusive, but also let's not release it on the other pre-gen, like last gen consoles, Xbox One and PS4. Just the
Yeah,
Switch, and then also just on the PC.
I
I don't
like
know.
it. Maybe later
And
down the track they'll open it
maybe they
up.
will.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it looks nice, and it also has like it seems to have like anime cutscenes, or at least the trailer did. So that'll be something nice to look at. Good to look at if it's like animated really well on the small screen or the big screen.
and we'll find out soon enough. Reviews should
Yeah.
be coming out soon. Like
Yes. Yeah.
once it's
Next
out.
week, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
But what looks phenomenal is this next game.
I
And
can't believe
not,
this game.
like ray tracing graphics and photorealistic whatever and whatnot. No, 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 no. I'm talking about waifus and husbandos are back, baby. And it's not Genshin Impact, but it is made by the same people, Hoyoverse.
Hoyoverse.
And it's got a weird name as well. I'm gonna mess this up every
Try
single
it.
time.
Try
If
it.
I'm not reading it, Zenless Zone Zero.
You got it.
ZZZ.
Z
Right?
Z Z.
The only thing that worries me about the game, if the game sucks, I could just see the headlines right now. You know, I would probably write something along the lines of like this game was so ZZZ, like it was a snore or something.
Oh wow, I wasn't even thinking of that. No, this trailer just oozed style. Like even
Oh
though
yeah.
this is the second game that they announced,
Oh
we
yeah.
we forgot about the first one. Like after seeing
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
that was it. Like this
Yeah,
is how
Hoyoverse
good.
like had another announcement right before this game, which to me it was like, oh, I want to talk about that game because it looks good. I have no idea what's it about, but like it looks like it's a Genshin Impact style of
Style.
game, or like
Yeah,
aesthetically speaking, not gameplay necessarily. But then this game came out and it's
it
like
blew me
fast, it's
away, man.
fluid,
Yeah,
It's crisp, it's clean. Even the website is beautiful. The
Like
website is like so polished.
you have to. If you haven't seen their website for Zenless Zone Zero,
Zenless
just
Zone, yeah, zero. Yeah,
just
say
go
it five
check it
times
out.
really quick.
Zenless Zone Zero, Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, just go check it out.
Check out
It's
the
worth checking
website.
out.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. So they're like a brand new IP, their second brand new IP after Genshin Impact. It's
Yeah.
a futuristic urban action game, and it's action AF. It's got the same level of detailing as what you'd expect from Genshin Impact, but they just added like a different style to it. It's fast paced.
There
It's
was guns. There was like obviously there's swords, but there was
swords. Yeah,
guns.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And they revealed a couple of characters, three characters in the trailer. So that's like one sort of thing that kind of departs away from Genshin Impact for me, is that they're not like going heavy with the characters, which obviously is going to be monetized and like microtransactions and whatnot. The other game, what was it called? See, we even forgot the name of the other game.
Stars.
Honkai Star Rail, the other game that was
Yeah,
announced
Star
before
Rail.
that,
That's it.
and the trailer had like a dozen characters,
That's true.
like very Genshin Impact. This one only had these three, and like I
Which
said,
yeah.
husbandos and waifus with swords and mechanical limbs. One of them has a mechanical, like I think is an android or something.
Yeah, well, his name is Billy Kid, and he
Billy
looked like
Kid.
an android with like two guns and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And in the trailer, it looks like he's like I think a dog or a lion or something, whatever, but like in human form. If you go to the website, he's always wearing a mask. So husbandos, waifus, and furries, like that sort
question
of
mark?
maybe. I
Yeah,
don't I,
could
I
be.
don't know. I don't know. But it just looks really cool.
It just
Nothing much that
oozes
we know
style,
about the
man.
game, but it's just like visually it's so good.
Like if you showed me the like this as like an upcoming anime or a show, like an anime show, I would have believed it. I would have been like, this is a cool anime that I want to watch. Like it's that
Yeah.
well
It's
done. Like the
it's very
production
well
value
done.
of this, yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
As
So
we
freaking cool.
expect from Hoyoverse, as we should come to expect from Hoyoverse, based on what we've seen with Genshin Impact. And who knows, maybe this game is going to be on every single console on the planet and every single device.
I
No
hope so
idea.
because I do want to play this. I do want to
Yeah.
play this.
Finally, the last pick of the games we want to
Ooh.
talk about. This is looks very quick. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles:
Heck
Shredder's
yeah.
Revenge.
Yes, it's coming out. Well,
It's coming out.
the big announcement, like which
Yeah.
the funny thing is that they still had one more announcement or
Two.
two more amounts.
Two new announcements.
You're right. Which is Casey Jones, which I completely forgot was a character in the show as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So Casey Jones is a new character, playable character. Again, he looked good, with his hockey stick and everything.
Yeah,
and
they
mask.
showed off like his
Classic.
move sets
Yeah.
and whatnot and all that. But the other announcement, which I think is like
Yeah.
bigger, I want to say, 6-player co-op, both online and offline.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I was not
Beautiful.
expecting it. Yeah.
Like,
That's
just
so
having
cool.
4th-player co-op would have been enough, right? Like that alone is what we would come to expect.
Come to expect, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
they added two more.
6.
They're like, no, 6. Go.
Like
And you see
that-
the action. It's so
yeah,
crazy.
it's so chaotic. It's so chaotic, like pixel perfect chaotic. And it's
Yeah.
really only something that you would say, oh, okay, if it's on the Switch, then sure. Because Switch, like, what is it, like Mario Kart has like 8-player co-op,
Yep.
right?
Mario Kart,
So-
Mario Strikers as well. 8
Yeah, so we've
players.
seen like
Yeah.
the 4+ co-op games before, but this still took me by surprise. And it's coming out next week, June 16th, on
June
Steam,
16th.
Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and on Game Pass. This is a great game for Game Pass.
Yeah, it is because everyone will play it hands
Yeah,
down
yeah.
day one. It's a day one Game
So
Pass.
it is, it is. So yeah, these are the 7 games that we both kind of collectively wanted to talk about. Fatty, do you want to like quickly go through the 3 other sort of announcements, or should we
Super
just call it a day?
Um, can we just go through one of them?
Okay, go
Pick
ahead.
one. Just pick one.
Oh no, I want to pick 2.
Which 2?
Let's go through all of them really quick. I'll do it. I'll do it really quick. So speaking of a 10-year announcement thing of a game, this is even crazier. They announced Flashback 2, which is a sequel to a game that came out 30 years
30.
ago.
30. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
30
I
years
remember
ago.
this
It's
game. I actually
crazy.
remember this game. Like I didn't
I
play it. I
don't.
know about it.
It didn't look familiar to me at all. I thought the character did, but it just didn't. But again, it came out 30 years ago, so I'm not
Yeah,
surprised. It's an action platformer, right? But I think
it is. Yeah.
it's so. But it does have some scenes. It looked like some scenes were isometric, some were like just like 2D.
I think this was like in the remastered because they remastered the game or remade the game or
Oh, so they're
something.
showing
So
footage of the. So okay, so this
yeah.
was like then just announcing that the game's coming out. It's coming in the winter, so like by the end of the year on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One, Switch, and Steam. So everything out there. That's great. On
Mm,
to the next thing. I want to talk about this really quick because it's relevant to what we talked about before.
go for it.
So Samsung has a Samsung Gaming Hub in their TVs.
Yes, they do.
What's really cool about it is that it's going to be a place where you can play your cloud gaming titles, not just from Xbox Cloud Gaming, which is what everyone would have expected, but from Google Stadia, NVIDIA GeForce Now, and a service I've never heard of called Utomic. I don't really
Yeah,
know.
same. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, but so you need to have a Samsung 2022 smart TV, and then you'll have a hub. You just connect a controller, and then you obviously need to have accounts for any of these services. And I'm assuming these services also need to be available in the country that you're in, so we're screwed. And then just from the
Mhm.
TV, without having like any sort of hardware, no computer, no console, no nothing, you can stream your games from these services. There's a new processor to ensure low latency, not negative latency, which is Google's thing. Upscaling, there's going to be AI upscaling as well. Now, I don't know if it's going to be tuned for games and like the low latency thing, because smart TVs usually do AI upscaling anyways. Also, the audio is going to be optimized for each genre of games. Again, I hope that this is like a specific thing when you're running these applications on your TV and it's like specifically done for games, because don't forget Samsung actually owns Dolby Atmos. I think.
Do they?
I think
That's
they
I don't know.
I think they own Dolby Atmos, so they have the whole audio thing down. Hey guys, Future Tim here. I'm editing the episode, and I realized I made a mistake. Samsung actually owns Harman, who in turn owns AKG, JBL, Harman Kardon, and all these other audio brands. So it's not Dolby Atmos, it's Harman. My mistake. Now let's go back to the video. And it's launching this summer. You just need to own a 2022 Samsung TV, which is amazing.
This is what Xbox was planning the whole time. Is for
Well,
to get on
Xbox
TVs.
is this, and Xbox also has Project Keystone, which is their own dongle stick thing, which they've talked about last year. They reiterated this year that it's going to be done in 12 months' time. Just a couple of months ago, I think they said that.
Yeah, it was
And they could do so
re-announced.
much
Yeah.
more with it. Yeah, exactly. They could do so much more with it. It could be more than just an Xbox cloud gaming thing. It could also be like a media hub or whatever. But this thing from Samsung is amazing. Finally, the very last announcement, the very last thing that we want to talk about, I'll go through it really quick, is a world premiere of a game called Stormgate by Frost Giant Studios. I believe this is the very first game
It
after
is.
all these people left Activision Blizzard, and I think they left other studios as well, but it's primarily from the Activision Blizzard team. People left that studio. They started Frost Giant Studios, which I think we wanted to talk about last year, but there was
We
no
did.
announcement other than they're forming their own thing. Well, this
We
is
had
the
it.
fruit
We
of
had
that
it once.
labor.
Yeah.
We had it? Okay, great. So Stormgates, they had a cinematic trailer for the game. There was a character that reminded me of Diva from Overwatch, which I thought was interesting, like the mech thing that she rides. And it's this archaeologist that is fighting, or like is kind of caught in the middle of like some demon thing. Demons are escaping from portals. They said that storm gates are portals that open during a massive solar storm that unleash the infernal hosts on future Earth. And the cool thing about this game is that it's an RTS game. I don't remember the last time there was a brand new RTS IP that was worked on by like a
Yeah.
AAA developer like these guys. So that was cool. There's going to be, they only announced two factions for now. There's going to be more, but it's the human resistance and the infernal hosts, so humans and the demons. And what I really respect is something that they touched on, is that this is going to be a free to play game, no pay to win, and no NFTs.
This is how they're
Especially
differentiating themselves from Blizzard
from Activision
completely.
Blizzard, and especially with the fiasco that is Diablo and Immortals that just came out
Terrible.
this week. Yeah, $100,000 to get everything in. It's stupid. So these guys are doing it. They're staying true to what made them Blizzard, like the Epic, studio, the Epic developers that they were like many years ago before the Activision buyout. They also said that they're trying to like have the game be a lot more social, so the campaign can be played cooperatively. There's going to be an open-ended co-op with 3 players. There's also going to be 3v3 competitive multiplayer, as well as 1v1 competitive multiplayer. The beta, you can register for the beta in 2023. So this game is not coming out anytime soon, but
No,
I just wanted to
definitely not.
quickly mention it because it's exciting that it's coming from these guys. It's the first, announcement and the direction that they're heading in. No NFTs, no pay to win.
Good,
All
good
that sort of
guy,
stuff.
good guy
Good,
move.
good on them. I just needed to like quickly mention that. Whew, okay, we're done.
And we're done. When we're done,
We're done.
We're officially covered Summer Game Fest, Summer Gore Fest.
But yeah, that's it. So
That's a
let's just
wrap.
end it here. Guys, thanks for. I hope you enjoyed what we
Thank you
had to
for
cover. I
watching.
hope you have your own. I think you might have your own opinions and whatnot. Leave us a comment. Let us know what
Would like
games
to
we're
hear
looking
your
forward
opinions.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, let
exactly.
us know like what game we didn't talk about that you think we should have. Maybe we didn't give it a chance. Drop us a like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. You can follow us on
Just
social
do what you
media.
have to do. Okay, just
do
do what you
do
have to do.
it. Yeah, do
Just
your
do it.
duty and like follow us on YouTube. Um, but you could also like follow us or like just talk to us on social media, Twitter and Instagram. The handles are bad game. Wait, no, bad good pod.
Yeah,
Damn it.
I was gonna correct you there. Yeah, bad good
Yeah,
pods.
I usually say good bad, but now I even like mess it up even more. It's bad good pod. So Instagram.com/bad good pod, Twitter.com/bad good pod. And yeah, follow us on YouTube, drop us a like, let us know
Okay.
your thoughts, feedback. We're working on improving this bit by bit. So yeah, that is it. And we'll catch you guys. For food, might catch you guys next episode on
Oh
Sunday.
shit, I might be doing so.
Talking
We'll see.
about Day of the
Oh, no.
Devs, right? That's what you.
Yeah, I actually watched it. I watched it today. Started with Tim Schafer, ended with Tim Schafer. I love that guy.
Nice.
And some very interesting indie games that I would love to talk to you guys about. But let's see how we go.
Let's see how it goes
Let's see how
with
we
me
go.
tomorrow. And if it doesn't go too well, it's on you, Food.
It's on me. Okay. Pressure's on.
All right. See you.